Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering Jimmy Carter as we continue to see more reaction come in over the passing of America's 39th president.
The rain we picked up last night has moved out to sea with breezy conditions behind a cold front today and sunshine. A system to the west promises more rain as we ring in the new year. I'll time out the rain on Futurecast coming up.
Snow geese scare the bird flu warning after positive tests were found in the dead animals near Prime Hook.
It is Jaden Daniels, end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Zach Ertz takes Washington into the playoffs.
Washington is indeed rolling into the playoffs, a thriller that ended just hours ago that has fans hearkening back to the Super Bowl era of the burgundy and gold.
This is CoastTV News Today.
You're looking live at the White House in Washington, D.C. I think you can see it in the middle of your screen with a light on it. The flag there is at half-staff. Somber mood as it was yesterday that we learned that the 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter, died at age 100. Yesterday, the flags were also lowered to half-staff, and we will see that throughout the day, probably throughout the week. And that's how we begin Monday, December 30th, 2024. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. Thank you for being up with us during our 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, peanut farmer, a Naval Academy grad, president, and it's probably what Jimmy Carter did after leaving office that he will likely be most remembered for.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to jump into all of that very shortly, but first we are going to begin this hour with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. He joins us now with a look at your forecast. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Del Marva. We had the rain last night, and it has moved out this morning, but we're leaving behind some wet roads, so take it slow out there. Otherwise, lots of stars, and you can see the radar replay with some of that heavier rain last night, but we are drying things out, but still some lingering clouds now for the eastern shore around D.C. as well. Don't think we're looking at precipitation with this, but there is a cold front that is sliding through. That will kick up the winds later on today and then dry us out even more. It's pretty mild out ahead of that front into the 50s from Salisbury up to Milton. Rehoboth 55 and Bethany Beach right now at 52. And it is a little breezy out of the southwest. We'll see a mix of clouds and sun this morning and temperatures rising through the 50s by noon. Lots of sunshine, getting breezy with upper 50s, close to 60 inland areas by 3 o'clock, but cooler 50s at the beaches. Don't know about 40s, but it's going to be a little cooler at the coast. And for your run today, you might be dodging a few puddles this morning, otherwise some clouds and a little bit of a west breeze, not too bad, and then increasing sunshine as we go through the rest of the morning into the afternoon. Temperatures into the lower 60s as we go into the afternoon hours.
Bob, thank you. As we mentioned, President Carter died Sunday at the age of 100. What you're seeing right there, people laying flowers at the organization bearing his name in line with Emory University there in Atlanta.
Carter's death immediately garnered reaction from all members of Delaware's congressional delegation. That includes Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. She spoke on the, quote, giant loss felt by his death.
Blunt Rochester took to Facebook in her statement saying, quote, President Carter was a defender of human rights and democracy around the world. He led a life full of compassion, grace, and community service.
And today, people around the nation and the world remembering President Carter. NBC's Chris Pallone shows us how he spent the years after his time in the White House trying to improve people's lives around the world.
People in Atlanta have been leaving flowers and notes outside the Carter Presidential Center, remembrances for the nation's longest-living president who died Sunday at 100 years old. The tributes pouring in from around the world and across the nation. A moment of silence before the Washington Commanders game outside D.C. New York's Empire State Building lit up in red, white, and blue. The flag atop the White House lowered to half-staff.
This is a sad day.
President Biden, vacationing in St. Croix, remembered his longtime colleague and friend and reflected on his legacy.
Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words but by his deeds. He forged peace, advanced civil rights, human rights, promoted free and fair elections around the world.
My name is Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
Biden, then a senator, was the first politician outside Georgia to endorse Jimmy Carter's bid for president in 1976. He's sometimes called America's greatest former president, a nod to his life of diplomacy and service after his one term in the White House.
I'd say peace and human rights and treating everybody the same has been what I hope will be my legacy.
President Biden said the thing that convinced him to endorse Jimmy Carter for president is the same quality that endeared him to generations of Americans over the last 50 years.
And what Jimmy Carter is an example of is just simple decency. Simple decency. And I think that's what the rest of the world looks to America for.
While pointing out their many differences, President-elect Trump said on social media Jimmy Carter did everything in his power to improve the lives of all Americans. For that, we all owe him a debt of gratitude. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
And President Biden has declared January 9th to be a national day of mourning for President Carter. Biden has said he will deliver a eulogy for the former president at the state funeral, which will be held in Washington, D.C. in the coming days.
To hear how all of Delaware's congressional delegation remembered the former president, you can head to our website, CoastTV.com, and we'll have more on Jimmy Carter coming up just a little bit later on in our newscast. Right now, Delaware's agriculture and environmental agencies confirmed that 40 birds have been reported to them as having bird flu. This includes snow geese and prime hook, who tested positive this week. The Department of Agriculture says farmers should take precautions to protect their poultry and their livestock. Some ways to do this: you should be covering waste, remove any standing water near barns and chicken houses. Don't move equipment through any standing water. That could track infected wildlife fecal matter into your barns. Also, secure your buildings to keep wild animals from coming inside. Use decoys and scare devices to keep any wild animals away. There's a lot to the story, so don't forget we have all the details on it, including what to do if you think you've seen an infected bird, on our website, CoastTV.com.
This is the time of celebration for many, but according to the National Safety Council, it can also be a dangerous time on our roads. Drunk driving, it's always at an all-time high during the holidays, and during the Christmas and New Year periods, the council says 40% of traffic-related deaths involve drunk drivers, which is a 12% increase compared to the rest of December. One vacationer in Ocean City hopes efforts being undertaken will cause fewer people from becoming another deadly statistic.
It's good for anybody everywhere. Like, honestly, if you've had too much to drink, please call somebody, anybody.
With New Year's Eve and Day having the most DUIs throughout the year, be sure you have a plan if you are out before grabbing a drink.
And there are plenty of ways to get free rides on Delmarva. Ocean City is offering free beach bus service starting 6 a.m. New Year's Eve until 3 a.m. New Year's Day. And then in Delaware, you can get a $20 Lyft or Uber voucher throughout the Office of Highway Safety. Just go to mysoberrides.com and you can use that between 5 p.m. Tuesday to 2:30 a.m. Wednesday.
And we're going to go from Delaware to Maryland, where state police say they are continuing with increased patrols leading into New Year's Eve. Troopers will enforce checkpoints in order to reduce drunk driving. According to state police, more than 500 people have died on Maryland roads this year, and the most common crashes involved impaired, distracted, and aggressive driving.
This morning, Laurel Police Department will soon be celebrating the grand opening of their new facility. The agency says after restoration and renovations, the building is officially operational. They'll be holding a grand opening ceremony February 8th, begins at 10:30, and you can go. You should expect some food, some vendors, and of course a tour of that new building. It is almost 2025, and as we look back on 2024, no doubt one of the biggest stories of the year was the political season along our coast. In Delaware, you can't really think about any election, however, without Return Day. CoastTV spent the last 2 months digging into the history of the famous tradition, where people return to the county seat to hear the returns of the election read out loud, like they did in the 1800s. The hatchets buried, and opponents come together to mark the end of the political season.
All of the United States needs to follow those practices of bipartisanship, loving your community, reaching out that hand to support one another. And I think the healing process needs to be done everywhere.
You can learn all about this wonderful history. There are some international elements to it as well. Tonight at 6, you can see the history of Return Day, only right here on CoastTV.
Yeah, looking forward to that. How about this? Seasoned fans of the Burgundy and Gold have been looking forward to. Just hours ago, as seen here on CoastTV, Washington in overtime with this Jaden Daniels to Zach Ertz touchdown. They're back in the playoffs, defeating the Atlanta Falcons 30-24. The 11 wins. That is the most a Washington team has earned since the 1991 Super Bowl season. We'll have more on this game later on CoastTV News Today. Coming up, cold-stunned turtles, what the Maryland Department of Natural Resources is alerting the public about when it comes to turtles along the coast.
Also, BB Healthcare making its way to Millsboro, how the new facility will help first responders reach more people faster.
And up next, Georgia suffers storm damage and the recovery after severe weather on Sunday. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Attention employers on Delmarva. The Delmarva Job Fair, sponsored by the Stokely Center and the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, is back. Join us Saturday, February 1st from 10 to 2 at Delaware Tech in Georgetown. Connect with over 1,000 job seekers all in one place and grow your team. Secure your spot today at the most successful job fair on Delmarva. Go to WBOCevents.com. The Delmarva Job Fair, where great employers meet great talent.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by Coast TV.
Ring in 2025 with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Right now, get 20% off materials, plus save 25% on your entire roofing project. Our expert team is dedicated to providing unmatched customer service and quality craftsmanship. It's the perfect time to upgrade your home and start the year strong. So don't miss out on the 2025 savings with 20% off materials and 25% off your entire roofing project. Visit SpicerBros.com or call now to schedule your free consultation. Make Spicer Brothers your New Year's resolution because you deserve the best.
140 basketball teams hit the hardwood in Salisbury today for the Governor's Challenge, sponsored by Shower Glass. 5 days of the best high school basketball talent in the country. Watch live exclusively on the Delmarva Sports Network, plus stream games from 5 courts only on the DSN app. From the first tip-off to the DSN Nightly Wrap-Up Show, the 42nd Annual Governor's Challenge, exclusively on the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app.
It is just about 6:13 on Monday morning as we're drying things out. Bay Health Cam in Milford, seeing blue skies and some clouds as well, a mix of clouds and stars as we had the rain move through last night. Some of that was pretty heavy, but now that's long gone. We have seen some brief clearing, but then more clouds are filling in across the eastern shore back to the I-95 corridor as there is a cold front moving through, and that will dry us out even more as we go through the day, and we'll see breezy conditions as well. Out ahead of that front, pretty mild with 40s and 50s, not 68 in Seaford. That's a typo. It's not that mild, but it is pretty mild with a southwesterly breeze. So if you're taking a stroll on the boardwalk in Dewey Beach this morning, hang on to your hats and make sure you have the windbreaker. It's going to be becoming increasingly breezy with temperatures in the 50s. Clouds early on, then increasing sunshine, upper 50s as we go into late morning and maybe close to 60 by this afternoon.
Thank you, Bob. In other parts of the country, severe storms moved through parts of Georgia. This was on Sunday, leaving behind widespread damage. Storms there brought some heavy rain, high winds, lightning to the area. Tens of thousands of locals there left without power. Fallen trees toppled on top of homes. They caused significant disruptions as well to roadways. And the heavy rainfall led to some rising water levels in creeks and streams.
Milford says it has paused ongoing roadwork projects. The city says this is due to the holidays and construction will start soon. It will resume on Monday, January 6th.
So get this, Costco pushing back against the anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion movement. Costco's board of directors is urging shareholders to vote against a proposal brought by the National Center for Public Policy Research. The organization wants the warehouse retailer to issue a report on the financial risks of maintaining its diversity and inclusion goals. This comes after the group accused Costco of discrimination against employees who are white, Asian, male, or straight. Costco's board accuses the organization of making its true anti-diversity agenda under the guise of reducing risk.
Discount grocery store Aldi is expanding. The chain has announced it will be opening 17 new stores across 9 states. Those states are Alabama, Florida, Missouri, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Wisconsin. Aldi has previously announced that it plans to open 800 new stores in the U.S. by the end of 2028.
Still ahead this morning, BB Healthcare making its way to Millsboro. We're going to show you a first look at the new building coming to the Sussex County town.
And we're seeing starry skies in Laurel right now in the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam. Sun's not up till 7:19, getting kind of late now. The rain has moved out. We're breezy and mild today with sunshine, but then the rain returns to end 2024, maybe lingering into 2025 just a little bit. I'll pinpoint the rain on Futurecast coming up next.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Enjoy 10 songs in a row. Sponsored by Pohanga Kia of Salisbury.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com now.
She's turned down for a student loan because of your bad credit. You don't say to your daughter, go get a job unless you're a bum.
Next, Judge Judy.
Monday at 2 on CoastTV.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Approaching 6:18 on this Monday morning, and we're getting a live look at a fairly dark Roosevelt Inlet. I think you can see out in the distance some hint that the sun is coming up or some daylight is coming up. Now, Bob, nearby here in tomorrow night, the anchor drop in Lewis at the lightship overfalls, and that will celebrate the new year.
And maybe a little bit of rain on the anchor. So we got the anchor there. We've got the ball in New York City. It's looking wet for New York as well. So you're planning for your New Year's Eve festivities. Well, plan for some rain as we're counting down. Hard to believe 2024 is just about over with. And we're looking at scattered showers here around 50 degrees at midnight locally on Delmarva. But in New York City, it's rain too. So it's just rain, too warm for any kind of icy precipitation. We did see some rain as we moved through the overnight last night. That has since moved out. We're seeing some stars out there right now. Some brief clearing across Sussex County and then points south. But we're seeing more clouds filling in now across the eastern shore and back through the I-95 corridor. Maybe a sprinkle here as there is a cold front making its way our way. So as it sweeps on through, very little fanfare. We're going to see a wind shift, gusty winds this afternoon, and it will dry us out. There's one area of low pressure across the Great Lakes. The air behind this front, not especially cold, but we have more cold air that is gathering strength across Canada and will come down. There is low pressure across the western high plains. That will bring us a rain for New Year's Eve. Temperatures now ahead of a cold front are mild into the 50s, but 48 in Ocean Pines, 49 in Ocean City. That's the coldest I could find, with 50s elsewhere right now. So make sure you have your jacket out the door as we have a southwesterly breeze. And Futurecast does clear us out after some morning clouds. By noon, we're into the upper 50s. The breezes will pick up this afternoon, around 60 in Millsboro. Cooler 50s at the coast. Don't know about 45 in Fenwick Island. That seems awfully cold, but it will be cooler at the coast as we see mostly clear skies overnight. And to round out The year 2024, we're looking at temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Tomorrow morning, we will see an increase in clouds as the winds pick up out of the southeast. By mid-afternoon, we're into the 50s, maybe a few scattered showers, but I think a more widespread rain event starts to build in as we go into the evening hours. So if you're planning dinner for New Year's Eve, the last one of the year, prepare for wet weather, and all the way up into New York as they drop the ball in Times Square, it will be wet there. Then in the wake of that system, it's going to be windy and cooler as we go into the beginning of 2025, colder into the weekend. Then I'm looking ahead to late Sunday and Monday. The next system that could bring measurable snow to us. This is next week, next Monday, but it's still well out there, so it really depends on the track of low pressure. This particular one has snow turning to rain for us with a steady and heavy snow to the north. Just way too early to tell. In any case, we're looking at rain, maybe up to about 1/3 of an inch with this system, and the winds that are gusty this afternoon, maybe up to about 25 miles per hour, will shift to the southeast as we go into tomorrow afternoon and get pretty strong as we go into New Year's Eve. Here's your day part forecast for today. Temperatures near 60 degrees. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We're mild the next 2 days. New Year's Eve, we have the rain increasing into the afternoon. Then on Wednesday, 51, breezy, 40s Thursday and Friday. Cold into the weekend and maybe significant rain and snow as we go into the early part of next week and much colder, right around 38 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. BB Healthcare Facilities, they can be found in a number of locations in Sussex County, and now Millsboro will soon be adding another to that list. On your screen is the site of the future building. It's off of Route 113, right next to the Millsboro bypass construction. Coast TV spoke with people living nearby about BB coming to Millsboro.
Really excited. We moved here in May from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, so we got all of our health care at Lehigh Valley, and we've still been going back and forth. So we're looking for a place to establish here.
And BB says the average national ambulance ride, it's about 17 minutes. So by putting this facility in Millsboro, it will allow emergency care to reach more people faster.
Coming up next on Coast TV News today, catch cold-stunned turtles. We're going to tell you how many of those animals have already fallen victim to the brutal temperatures this year alone. Don't go anywhere.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on Coast TV.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep. Coverage you can count on.
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow. Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696 or visit lizardflare.com now.
Did you know after the 4th missed mortgage payment, pre-foreclosure starts and you're headed to auction? This will ruin your credit and make it hard to buy or even rent in the future. To stop the foreclosure, look into a loan modification, file bankruptcy, or call a professional home buyer. You don't have to lose your home, but you do have to act fast. Delmarva Dave is here to help. For more information about Delmarva Dave, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Take the holidays with you wherever you go, but not the same old songs over and over. The Duck has hundreds of holiday tunes. Enjoy 24/7 Christmas music on 107.1 The Duck, your Christmas variety station.
Now that we are in the winter season, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources says be on the lookout for cold-stunned sea turtles and other aquatic wildlife. This year already, along the Atlantic coast, over 850 sea turtles have been reported as cold-stunned. Now, most of these so far have been found in Massachusetts. If you do see a lethargic sea turtle, contact authorities.
Bethany Beach is looking for some photos for its next calendar. I'm sure you have some good ones. According to Bethany Beach Events and Entertainment, this year's theme is Fun and the Sun. The photo contest opens today. It runs through January 24th. Winners, you'll get a 2025 VIP parking pass.
I think that describes me. Fun in the sun. All right, we are joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahy. No bitter cold to close out the year along the coast, Bob.
No, the year ends pretty mild and, well, kind of wet again as we go into New Year's Eve. But we get a break today. Chincoteague and Assateague starting out 40s to around 50 degrees, mid to upper 50s this afternoon. With sunshine, there's a small craft advisory and waves around 4 to 7 feet. So watch for that. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, you're into the 50s, maybe touching 60. I think that's a little farther inland. Next 3 days in Cambridge, mild today, 59 with rain increasing as we go to New Year's Eve, and then pretty windy to start 2025 and colder. Similar conditions for Crisfield, maybe some storms for you Tuesday, and then we get increasingly cold for 2025 and maybe a snow chance next week. Much more in your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Bob. Also coming up after the break, drunk driving, it's at a high during the holiday season. We're going to tell you what to watch out for to avoid disaster.
Also, poultry precaution, how to protect your animals from bird flu after many have tested positive on Delmarva.
And the nation is remembering President Jimmy Carter after his passing Sunday. We're going to show you how Delaware officials are now reacting. Coast TV will be back after this.
Capture your favorite moments at the Coast TV photo booth. Strike a pose and snap a pic, all for free. View previous pictures and see the next event at coasttv.com under the Features tab. The Coast TV photo booth, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Hello! What's funky, fun, and fabulous? The Pottery Place in Fenwick Island. Explore over 12,000 square feet of fabulous finds, from furniture to gifts, home decor, art, pottery, housewares, and more. New pieces arrive weekly, hand-selected for the ultimate unique shopping experience. Looking for something extra special? Special orders and free local delivery is available.
We have everything under the sun.
There's something for everyone. The Pottery Place in Fenwick Island, Delaware. A family tradition for over 50 years.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coastwide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health.
Now on Coast TV News.
The passing of former President Carter as we look back at his life and the impact he made after leaving office.
The rain we picked up last night has moved out to sea with breezy conditions today and sunshine. A system to the west promises more rain as we ring in the new year. I'll time out the rain on Futurecast coming up.
Driving dangers, we're looking at the efforts being made to lower the drunk driving rates heading into New Year's Eve.
Historic political harmony, a deeper dive into the great Delaware tradition of Return Day.
This is Coast TV News Today.
We're going to get a live look right now at the White House in Washington, D.C. Dark right now. You can't see too much going on there, but later we'll be able to see the American flag. You can actually kind of see it there with the light. It is flying half-staff. That is in honor of Jimmy Carter, the 39th president who passed away on Sunday. And that is how we begin this half hour of Coast TV News Today. Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley.
And good morning. I'm Matt Pensick. It is Monday, December 30th, 2024. The time is 6:30 as we continue our look back at Jimmy Carter. We're going to have more on that in just a moment.
Yeah, but first we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahy. He joins us to help you prepare as you head out the door this morning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Paige. Good morning, Matt. And Delmarva, we saw some rain last night. That has since moved out. We do have some wet roads, so drive with caution this morning if you are headed back to work. We're looking at some stars out there right now, some mostly clear skies, but the clouds are filling back in again across the eastern shore and back through the I-95 corridor near D.C. right now as we have a cold front that is sliding through the I-95 corridor, and that will slide through today, bringing breezy conditions, but it will be drying out, and it's pretty mild as we round out the year, or second to last day of the year. 53 in Milton, 54 in Delmar. Cooler upper 40s in Ocean Pines and Ocean City right now. Winds still southwest, but they'll start to shift to the west behind that cold front. Maybe a stray sprinkle this morning with some of those clouds. Otherwise, we see increasing sunshine. And by noon, pretty nice. Sunshine mid to upper 50s, right around 60 in Millsboro, 58 in Salisbury later. Cooler 50s along the coast. Don't know about 45 in Fenwick Island. That would be awfully cold. But it will be cooler at the beaches and a little warmer inland areas. Today's checklist: drive with caution. Roads are still wet. Don't need the raincoat. Don't need the gloves, hat, and scarf. Need the warm beverage for sure. You can leave the umbrella at home, but make sure you grab the sunglasses. It will be sunny and pretty mild as we go into the afternoon.
All right, thank you, Bob. As we've been talking about this morning, Jimmy Carter, former president of the United States, died Sunday at the age of 100. And here you see people laying flowers at the organization bearing his name. This is in line with Emory University there in Atlanta.
Carter was only a one-term president, overseeing a troubling economy, unable to have a response to the American hostages held in Iran. There were some triumphs, of course, as well during his presidency, perhaps none greater than brokering a peace deal between Israel and Egypt. And then in 2014, Carter reflected on his time as America's president.
I kept my country at peace during very difficult times when I was in the White House. And I helped promote peace between other countries that were potentially at war. I reached out to long-term adversaries like China, and we tried to bring an end to apartheid in Africa, and I promoted human rights. And I think the result of our human rights policy probably changed administrations in Latin America from dictatorships to democracies.
Now in Delaware, Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester took to Facebook to honor the late president, saying, quote, President Carter was a defender of human rights and democracy around the world, and he led a life full of compassion, grace, and community service.
And President Joe Biden as well, making remarks on Carter while on vacation on the Virgin Islands. Here's what the president said.
What we never see his like again. We'd all do well to try to be a little more like Jimmy Carter. You know, my mom, you've heard me say this before, used to say, bravery lives in every heart, and someday it'll be summoned. Every time it was summoned, he stepped up.
We move on, and Delaware's Agricultural and Environmental Agency is confirming 40 birds have been reported to them as having bird flu, including snow geese in Prime Hook, who tested positive this week. The Department of Agriculture says farmers should take precautions to protect their poultry and livestock. Ways to do that: cover waste, remove standing water near barns and chicken houses. Also, don't move equipment through standing water. This could track infected wildlife fecal matter into your barns. Also, secure buildings to keep wild animals from coming inside, and also use decoys and scare devices to keep wild animals away. Plenty on this story. We have all the details about this, including what to do if you think you've seen an infected bird. That's on our app and CoastTV.com.
Whether you're still celebrating Christmas or maybe you're getting ready for the new year, the Ocean City Police Department is warning everyone of drunk driving. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us how common drunk driving is this time of year.
Grabbing a beer and then your keys. That is more common than you think. And Norma Simpson saw firsthand how that could affect families.
We had a friend years ago whose sister was killed by a drunk driver and her son.
And this time of year has even more risk of drunk drivers. According to the National Safety Council, during the Christmas and New Year holiday periods, 40% of traffic-related deaths involve drunk drivers, which is a 12% increase compared to the rest of December. And on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day alone, overnight fatal crashes surged by a shocking 136%. To try and lower the number of deaths this time of year, the Ocean City Police Department have been posting on Facebook ways you could get home safe while still having a drink, such as having a designated driver or calling an Uber or a cab to pick you up. Simpson hopes these efforts will cause less people from becoming just another statistic.
It's good for anybody everywhere. Like, honestly, if you've had too much to drink, please call somebody, anybody.
With New Year's Eve and Day having the most DUIs throughout the year, be sure you have a plan before grabbing a drink. I'm Kevin Zappe in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And of course, there are plenty of ways to get free rides on Delmarva Ocean City, offering free beach bus services beginning 6 a.m. on New Year's Eve until 3 a.m. New Year's Day. And then in Delaware, you can get a $20 Lyft or Uber voucher throughout the Office of Highway Safety. All you got to do, go to mysoberrides.com, use it between 5 p.m. Tuesday and 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday.
All this because it is almost 2025. Now, looking back on 2024, there's no doubt one of the biggest stories of the year was this political season on the coast. In Delaware, you can't really think about any election, especially in Sussex County, without Return Day. And Coast TV has spent the last 2 months digging into this history of this famous tradition where people return to the county seat to hear the returns of the election read out loud. Just like they did in the 1800s, a hatchet is buried and opponents come together to mark the end of the political season. You can learn all about this wonderful history. There are even some international elements. It's tonight at 6 p.m., the history of Return Day, and it's only here on Coast TV News.
Coming up, learning about the local Hispanic community on Delmarva. We're going to show you displays students in Milford created to honor Hispanic Heritage Month.
Also, Daniels does it again, the thrilling win that puts Washington into the playoffs.
Stop to Styrofoam in Maryland. We're going to tell you how much you could be fined if you're using the packaging, according to officials. Stick with us on Coast TV News today.
Being a doctor requires that we look closer.
You do so much, but not every patient can be saved.
My intern was inside when it collapsed.
Brilliant Minds, the 2-hour season finale, next Monday.
This is the most money anyone has won in the history of television.
It's torture.
Deal or No Deal Island, January 7th on NBC and Peacock.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
Hi y'all, it's April from Coast Country, and every Tuesday I get the honor of highlighting an amazing teacher right here on Delmarva with Teacher Feature. If you know a teacher who deserves some extra love, those who go above and beyond every day, head to coastcountry.com and nominate them today. Then tune in each Tuesday to hear their story. Teacher Feature right here every Tuesday at 11 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning and Vernon Powell Shoes.
Just about 6:39 on this Monday morning. Here's our gutter helmet cam. A little bit of a chop on Indian River Bay. 53 in Ocean View right now. As we had the rain earlier, things are beginning to dry out. Still watch for some wet roads as we're looking at some clear skies, giving way to more clouds now, moving in across the eastern shore, parts of Sussex County, and back through I-95. There's a cold front that will be moving through, maybe a sprinkle with it, and then in the wake of that front, the winds will be picking up, but mild out ahead of the front, with temperatures for the most part in the 50s right now with the southwesterly breeze, and eventually those winds shift to the west. Wet roads this morning. Watch for that. I gave it a yellow color on the AM commute, and then green for this afternoon and this evening, breezy and mild with temperatures in the 50s to near 60 degrees. Umbrella winner today is Connie Miller from Lewis. Congratulations to her from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. Happening now, Maryland authorities are putting out a reminder it's against the law to use styrofoam in the state. And so get this, they say there is a $250 fine if you use styrofoam packaging. One man is now facing charges after Delaware State Police say he stole a car and then crashed it. Police say this all began 6:30 a.m. Friday when Kimi Adkins stole a car from the shops at Long Neck Boulevard. Then hours later, state police say they found that car by Potts Net Lakeside, but they say after Adkins stopping, he drove away recklessly, and then he eventually jumped out of that moving car into the Avalon Woods area. That caused the car to crash into a tree. In addition to all of this, police say Adkins had a suspended driver's license.
The thrill ride this season, that is the Burgundy and Gold of Washington. They rode a 3-game winning streak into last night, as seen just hours ago on CoastTV. Washington at home inside the Beltway with the Atlanta Falcons, and they had a chance to clinch a playoff spot. Also, seeking win number 11 on the season, that would be the most since winning 14 in 1991. That's the last time they won a Super Bowl. Plenty of enthusiasm on this night and about this team near D.C. We go to the third quarter. Washington goes in front with this Chris Rodriguez run off the pitch. They take a 21-17 lead. Washington would add a field goal, but the Falcons also fighting for a playoff spot respond. 82 seconds left in regulation. Michael Penix finds Kyle Pitts. We're tied at 24. We're going overtime. And that is where Jaden Daniels works his magic. We're going to see this pass to Zach Ertz here in overtime. Another dramatic win for Washington. They are going to the playoffs. What a year for the rookie Daniels and head coach, all-time Salisbury University great Dan Quinn. Washington, you are back in the NFL playoffs. Earlier in the day in Philadelphia, Saquon Barkley, he ran for 167 yards against the Cowboys. In doing that, he became the 9th running back in NFL history to go over the 2,000-yard mark in a season. The Eagles rout the Cowboys. They clinch the NFC East title, and the Birds wrap up the regular season next Sunday against the Giants. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8:30, it is Seaford and Cambridge South Dorchester. They meet in the Governor's Challenge, and then for a recap of all the action, tune in for the final score at 10:30. On the DSN Plus app, you can see plenty of action for the final day of the Governor's Challenge at several sites. We're talking 2 courts at the Civic Center, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and also at Y-High.
Some entertainment news now. Spider-Man's returning with a new animated series, and the release of the next Batman film got delayed. Rick Damigella has more in the Hollywood Minute.
Just consider it a good deed from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's me, by the way. I'm Spider-Man.
More Spider-Man adventures are swinging your way. The web-slinging hero takes on new adventures in the animated series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is your first look at the show, which premieres January 29th on Disney+. Sarah Bareilles performs her biggest hits with a full orchestra. This is a clip from the singer's special Sarah Bareilles New Year's Eve with the National Symphony Orchestra and Friends. The event was recorded at the Kennedy Center and will air Tuesday on PBS.
When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
Batman fans will have to wait a bit longer to see his calling card again. The release of the sequel to The Batman has been pushed back to October 2027. The latest Caped Crusader film is now expected to go into production late next year. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
It's time now for today's Holiday House. This one features a meaningful quote about the spirit of Christmas time and the magic of the season. This picture was submitted to us by Athena and Alex in Ridgely, Maryland. Thank you so much for sending this to us. And of course, we want to see all your bright lights and your festive setups. Submit your pictures and videos to us right now to coasttv.com/holidayhouse.
Starting to see some daylight now in Lewis. On the Tone and Razor Camp, some clouds, some blue skies. Sun's up in about 35 minutes. The rain has moved out. We're looking at a breezy and mild day with sunshine, but the rain returns to end the year. I'll pinpoint the rain on Futurecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
– 140 basketball teams hit the hardwood in Salisbury today for the Governor's Challenge, sponsored by Shower Glass. 5 days of the best high school basketball talent in the country. Watch live exclusively on the Delmarva Sports Network, plus stream games from 5 courts only on the DSN app. From the first tip-off to the DSN Nightly Wrap-Up Show, the 42nd Annual Governor's Challenge, exclusively on the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app.
Water,
nature's ultimate cleaner. We drink it, we bathe in it. Think water, think steam, think clean. Now harness the power of water with the H2O X5 5-in-1 steam cleaning system.
I'm so impressed with the X5.
It's an all-in-one product. I can use it throughout my entire house.
It's cleaning, it's sanitizing, there's no chemicals in it. It's just steam.
This is unbelievable. There is no more odor. You could spend over $500 to purchase the products that the X5 5-in-1 Miracle replaces. Order your H2O X5 steam cleaning system, a $500 value, for just 4 easy payments of $43. Order now and we'll upgrade your X5 package. We'll add a 6th mode with a dusting and polishing wand. Valued at over $30, this extra bonus attachment makes your H2O X5 the H2O X6. That means your 10-piece system becomes a 12-piece system at no extra cost to you. All for just 3 easy payments of $43. Call or click right now.
NBC Nightly News, weeknights at 6:30 on CoastTV.
Step into the spotlight and join Coast Life, where every day is fun, fresh, and full of energy. We're searching for a vibrant co-host to bring style, personality, and excitement to our daily lifestyle show. From fashion and entertainment to home decor and seasonal trends, you'll connect with viewers and make every moment unforgettable. Think you're ready to shine? Apply now at drapermediajobs.com and show us what you've got. We are an equal opportunity employer.
6:46 on your Monday. We're going to take a live look now at Laurel, see what's going on there. Sun's on its way up there. Bob, you warned us maybe a couple clouds, things like that today, but we do know it'll be pretty mild, honestly, for the end of the year.
I think it will be, Paige, and I think you'll take it. I'll take it. We'll all take it, as it is a mild end to the year, but it looks like it will be a little rainy, a little wet for your New Year's Eve festivities. And yeah, we're winding down 2024. There it goes. We're looking at scattered showers, temperatures in the 50s, by midnight around 50, with scattered showers and pretty breezy as well. So keep that in mind as you're out and about tomorrow evening. But at least it's not icy or snowy yet. That could occur next week. More on that coming up. In the meantime, we have seen the rain move away. We saw a period of clear skies, but now the clouds are moving back in as a cold front is getting closer. So we have some of those clouds over Delmarva now stretching back towards the I-95 corridor. Here comes that cold front. Nothing really in the way of moisture with it, no rain, but it will be a wind shift and it will dry us out into the afternoon. The air mass behind this front, not especially cold, as we're seeing rain and snow across the Great Lakes, but I'm watching this system moving out of the northern Rockies right now. That will be dropping to the southeast and give us that chance of rain as we round out 2024. Temperatures now pretty mild into the 50s. 51 Bethany Beach, 54 in Georgetown, and in Del Mar, not 68 in Seaford. I think that's wishful thinking. As we're looking at west-southwest breeze right now, that will pick up throughout the day. Morning clouds, maybe a sprinkle gives way to blue skies and increasing sunshine. Mid-morning, mid-50s, and then by noon, close to 60 around Georgetown, Millsboro, and Seaford. Cooler at the beaches. 49 Dewey Beach. I think it's a little warmer than that, but definitely cooler at the beaches. Around 60 as you work your way inland. Then we go into this evening, mainly clear skies, and by tomorrow morning, looking at temperatures into the 30s. And for the last day of 2024, increasing clouds, winds picking up from the southeast. We could see some showers beginning after about 4 a.m. And then I think as we go into the evening, maybe having dinner or reveling as we ring in the new year, rain here and also rain up in New York as they drop the ball there. And then it's breezy and cool as we start the new year and colder into the weekend. Then we're tracking another system that could bring us, yes, some snow and rain as we go into early next week. Still too soon to tell with the track of this low, but right now it looks like snow to rain, but it's still way too early to tell. With this next bout of rain, we're looking at maybe a quarter to about a third of an inch of rain. Otherwise, it's breezy this afternoon, some winds gusting maybe up to 25. Those winds slacking off a little bit tomorrow morning, and then they're picking up out of the southeast and pretty windy as we're heading into your New Year's Eve. So windy and rainy at that time. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 60 today, then 59 on New Year's Eve, with increasing rain into the afternoon and evening hours, and then, well, windy and colder on Wednesday to bring in 2025, 51 degrees, cooler Thursday and Friday with low 40s dipping into the 20s at night. Yeah, starting to get really cold again. And then by the weekend, mid-30s for highs with a mix of sun and clouds. Then late Sunday into Monday, that's when we have to watch for the potential of some rain and snow.
Thank you. Museum-like displays created by Spanish immersion students at Milton Elementary School. The works were inspired by what the students learned from speakers in the Hispanic community who were part of a program during Hispanic Heritage Month. Speakers shared with students their experiences related to careers, language, and immigration. Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman takes us through those displays and shows us what this means for the community.
Hallways at Milton Elementary School is highlighting countries like Colombia, Mexico, Guatemala, Cuba, and Ecuador. For Marbeli Ortiz, a third-grade Spanish immersion teacher, it is gratifying that her students were able to portray what they learned from the speakers, including for some the same qualities or similar backgrounds.
A lot of the students here have gone through experiences similar to the people that are coming and sharing. So for them to be able to see and hear stories that are just like them, it makes them feel like they're part of the community too.
For third grader Itzel Santos Lopez, it was a special moment.
It's very cool knowing that other people is from the same country or a different country that speak Spanish. I love speaking Spanish. I love that Guatemala is my country.
Speakers range from health professionals to law enforcement officers and more.
It's very exciting to be able to receive people that that CAPE has brought over to us so that we can be able to experience and learn more about what their country comes from or what it's like and what they have come out of and how they are flourishing in our community.
Celebrating cultures from a young age. Milton Elementary School will continue honoring the various cultures throughout the school year with different activities and programs. In Milton, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
6:51 this morning. It's time now to check in with our coastal pet of the day. Today's coastal pet of the day is a sweet pet enjoying life with his new family. We love that. On your screen is Honey Bear. Honey Bear got a family for Christmas, and we can see the joy and the love all over his face. Honey Bear was sent to us by his new family in Millsboro. Don't forget, we love to see all your pets on Delmarva, so keep sending us photos like that one of Honey Bear. Tell us what makes them so special. Scan the QR code on your screen. Send us pictures of your pets, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7. You'll see all the pets we feature.
Sun's up at 7:19, brightening skies in Laurel right now, blue skies and some clouds as well, and it will be a mild day, and we pretty much end the year pretty mild, but the rain returns to end the year and then colder into the new year as we start 2025, and yeah, maybe the season's first snow and some rain early next week. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
These fields are empty now, but soon they'll be alive.
Some teams can only dream to play it because they can't afford it. And that is why Toyota is sponsoring Delmarva's Dream Team.
We're looking for teams from any sport and any level. Each month, your Delmarva Toyota dealer will give one local team a $1,000 grant. And after the year, one finalist will receive an additional $3,000.
Nominate your dream team at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
DSN's Delmarva's Dream Team, sponsored by your local Toyota dealer.
Coaches make a difference for their athletes and communities, and we want to honor them.
Each month, the President Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and donate $500 to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an additional donation to their program.
The coach can be from any sport at any level up to and including high school.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
Delmarva Sports Network's Coach Who Makes a Difference. Sponsored by Preston Automotive Group.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
When the temperature drops and the days get shorter, the energy ignites inside. This winter, the Delmarva Sports Network takes you into the thrilling world of high school wrestling. Watch the Peninsula's best athletes battle on the mats, from takedowns to game-winning pins. Download the DSN app now and never miss a moment. This winter, it's all about high school wrestling, only on DSN and DSN+.
For some things you'll need to know before you go, Delaware's agriculture and environmental agencies confirmed that 40 birds have been reported to them as having the bird flu, including snow geese and prime hook, who tested positive this week. The Department of Agriculture says farmers should be taking precautions to protect their poultry as well as their livestock. These include covering waste, removing standing water near barns and chicken houses, and don't move equipment through standing water because it could track infected wildlife fecal matter into your barns.
President Carter died Sunday at the age of 100. Here you see people laying flowers at the organization bearing his name in line with Emory University. President Joe Biden making remarks on Carter while on vacation in the Virgin Islands, saying in part, quote, "We'd all do well to try and be a little more like Jimmy Carter," end quote.
Heads up, Maryland authorities putting out a quick reminder for you. It's against the law to use styrofoam in the state of Maryland, and now they say there is a $250 fine if you use styrofoam packaging.
And as we are in the winter season, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources says look out for cold-stunned sea turtles and other aquatic life. This year already along the Atlantic coast, over 850 sea turtles have been reported as cold-stunned, though most of them have been found in Massachusetts. If you see a lethargic sea turtle, contact authorities.
And I think the sea turtle should be okay the next couple of days as we're rounding out the year in pretty good shape, pretty mild out there. Watch for wet roads this morning. The rain has ended, a few clouds, and then a cold front comes through. Winds get gusty this afternoon with sunshine, but it's pretty mild with a high right around 60 degrees. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We round out the year tomorrow, 59 with increasing rain into the evening hours and getting windy as well. So kind of a windy, wet end to 2024. And then 2025 starts windy and colder, 51 on New Year's Day. To end the week, Thursday and Friday, lower 40s. And then the real cold air moves in this weekend with mid-30s. And we are tracking a system for Monday that could bring the season's first measurable snow. We'll watch that. It's still way too early to tell exactly where the system is going. But snow and rain, 38, and cold, whatever happens after that, with mid-30s and overnight lows into the 20s as the winter cold returns.
All right, thank you, Bob, for that. And thank you for joining us here on Coast TV News today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m. And then we'll be back with Coast TV News at midday at 11 a.m. For even more news and coverage you can count on, go ahead, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Monday morning, everybody.